At Westminster, the Liberal conscience was roused. Gladstone sponsored Home Rule for Ireland. His opponent, Lord Randolph Churchill, Sir Winston's father, countered, "If Gladstone goes for Home Rule, the orange card will be the one to play. Ulster will fight, and Ulster will be right." But the 30-year deadlock that followed was not unfruitful. Generous legislation went far towards solving the land problem. Ireland became relatively prosperous, but the cankers of centuries ran too deep for true conciliation. With the introduction by Asquith of his Home Rule Bill in 1912, Ireland again became a political issue at Westminster. With the encouragement of Bonar Law, the Canadian-born leader of the Conservative Party, whose forebears had been born in Ulster, Sir Edward Carson and his Orangemen pledged themselves to resist Home Rule by force. Huge rallies flocked to hear Carson speak.
We must be prepared, in the event of a Home Rule Bill passing, with such measures as will carry on for ourselves the government of those districts of which we have control. We must be prepared, and time is precious in these things, the morning Home Rule passes, ourselves to become responsible for the government of the Protestant province of Ulster.
The contemporary witness, Dr. Little, remembers the mood.
Well, the mood of Ulster was working up to boiling point. We were tired and wearied of continued whining and bleating from the south about Home Rule. Absolutely tired of it. And we thought the time had come when we should put a stop to it, and at least let the world know of our determination to remain British.
Thousands of volunteers flocked to Carson's orange banner, drilling and marching. They were in defiance of the law, and Carson knew it, but they were still short of arms. On an April night in 1914, that was remedied. A small Norwegian coaster arrived from Hamburg at the port of Larne, 15 miles from Belfast, and 35,000 rifles were smuggled ashore. The Catholics in the south reacted with astonishment and rising anger. Liam O'Brien remembers those days.
The gun running at Larne. Well, that confirmed us here in the conviction we already had that the illegal, quite illegal, drilling and arming of the Unionists of the north of Ireland to oppose a law of the Parliament of Westminster was a great act of favouritism and so to speak, unfairness towards us on their part, showing us that we were the second-class people of Ireland still. And also, the arming and drilling by these people set the thoughts of thousands of Irishmen in the direction of arming and drilling also.
In their turn, they started recruiting their own Irish volunteers, overwhelmingly loyal at first to the idea of Home Rule under the British Crown. But the growing Sinn Féin element of radicals organised their own arms shipment, smuggling in 2,500 German Mausers and tens of thousands of soft-nosed lead bullets through Howth near Dublin in July. A clash was inevitable if a larger conflict had not intervened. Britain and Germany were at war.